On today's edition of the EMET Report,
students come together to donate long sleeves to migrant farm workers.
Ukrainians of Colorado and an MSU professor team up to fundraise for humanitarian aid.
MSU Denver hosts the 59th annual Mile High Jazz Fest.
A look at MSU baseball's opening weekend.
And so much more starting right now.
Good morning and welcome to the EMET Report. Today is Friday, February 9th. I'm Noah Block.
And I'm Miah Ntepp. There's a lot to cover, so let's get started. This past Tuesday, the WISE, Women in Information Systems Empowerment, had a workshop in the Admin Building, Room 150. This was an opportunity for students who are interested in cybersecurity to find out more about the job market. Now, the workshop offered more information to students on the changes being done in the industry and how to pop out to employers in the job market. Cybersecurity has become a more difficult field to enter, and a degree is not enough anymore, as emphasized by many of the professionals in the industry. Now students must have a degree, 3 certifications, and experience if they want a high-paying job in cybersecurity. MSU professor Shane Jackson is offering a free boot camp over spring break, and that camp can help students get certifications. Now, the workshops also had guest speaker Brenda J. Taylor, who gave us her story of how she got into cybersecurity, including touching on how business degrees are adjacent to cybersecurity degrees now.
Construction in the West and Central classroom buildings has displaced students and staff since the beginning of the semester. And as we approach midpoint, a larger project is about to start. Starting March 16th, the Saturday before spring break, West and Central will be closed until early August as AHEC begins to upgrade the heating and air conditioning systems in those buildings. Over 60 classrooms and 100 staff offices will be closed during the project, with the university adjusting by increasing the number of accelerated courses that end by the break. Displaced staff can book Tivoli Room 120 on a rotating schedule to accommodate these closures, as well as Tivoli Room 127 for department meetings.
In honor of MSU Denver's Farm Workers Awareness Week, the camp program is participating in the Long Sleeve Drive project. Our reporter Cecilia Perez-Najera has more on the story.
CAMP is the College Assistant Migrant Program committed to meet the needs of migrant and/or seasonal farm worker students in their pursuit for higher education.
So the CAMP program is an amazing program that I found here at Metro. They support any students who have a background in agriculture, whether that be farming, factories, or just owning a farm and producing your own food. And they just really support us here at school with a scholarship as well as a lot of help.
Every year, the CAMPS program conducts a service project to help support their local farm worker community.
The Long Sleeve Drive is basically us trying to help farmers. It's very independent for every person having their own way of supporting the drive. For me personally, I am just reaching out to people I know, trying to see if they have any long sleeves that they don't use anymore, so we could donate them. We are also reaching out to different departments here in the school, talking to different groups of people, and just spreading the word, basically.
All high school equivalency programs and camp programs across Colorado, Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona are uniting for the cause.
I was able to work in that entire environment, and it's very difficult, just seeing everyone, and people have been doing this for years, and it's a pretty dangerous job, especially with during the summer months. So it just meant a lot because I feel sometimes we forget to think of the people that bring us our food, we see our food and we get it at the market, but we don't really think about the people who were able to grow it for the markets,
I think this is a really great way to spread awareness to farm workers, as they are often working in the heat and being exposed to pesticides. So I think it's really important that we provide them with materials that they need, such as long sleeves. So we're really looking forward to seeing all the donations. We need sleeves of any size. It would be amazing.
To contribute to this project, again, like I said, you can come and drop off any long sleeve shirts, any sweaters or anything, and that would be a great help.
Donations are accepted Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and runs now through February 23rd. You can stop by the camp office in Tivoli Room 221 to learn more or make a donation. For the EMET Report, I'm Cecilia Perez-Najera.
The Workplace Equity Summit made its way to the Tivoli this past Thursday, where students, staff, and faculty gathered with one another to learn from DEI professionals about equity practices. Now, this event contained a full agenda, which helped event goers get an understanding of what would be taking place during the summit, as well as what speakers might be attending. It contained a large number of speakers who voiced their experiences and opinions. One keynote speaker that attended this event was Donna Chris John, who is an Indigenous educator, consultant, as well as Denver American Indian Commissioner. In all, the event hosted 5 panelists who came from numerous companies to speak and share. Lasted roughly about 8 hours and allowed anyone who registered to drop in whenever their schedules allowed them to. For more information on this event and for speaker bios, you can visit msudenver/workplace-equity-summit.com.
Being able to change our narrative, so once again, our story as Indigenous people is at the heart of my work. Here we are 46 years later, and I'm watching my kids still experience the same curriculum that I did growing up. But if we educate our children correctly, when they become leaders in their community, they will have this information that will inform their policies, that will inform the way they work in the workplace, and will inform how they build partnerships and relationships with Indigenous people.
It's been nearly 2 years since Russian soldiers invaded Ukrainian borders, dating back to February 24th, 2022. And the conflict is still raging on.
That's right, Noah. And since the citizens of Ukraine have been under threat from not only war, but also aid and resources have been scarce since the invasion.
In response, the Ukrainians of Colorado and MSU's Dr. Vincent Petrich teamed up to host Denver's own Ukrainian Film Festival this weekend. Our reporter Tyson Sintas spoke with Petrich to learn all about what this festival will hold and the impact that it will make.
War has cut out many resources and livelihoods of those living in Ukraine. To help out those struggling, the Ukrainians of Colorado, in collaboration with Dr. Vincent Petrich and the MCA, are hosting the Ukrainian Film Festival Cinema of Survival. The film festival will host a series of movies focusing on Ukraine and its ongoing struggle for freedom. These films include Rising Fury, The Music of Survival, Black Raven, Klondike, and Freedom of Fire. The screenings will all take place in the Cube, located in Central Park at 8371 Northfield Boulevard. The purpose of these showings is to fundraise for humanitarian aid for those in Ukraine.
The Ukrainians of Colorado Society is handling all the funds. So all the money goes to the society, then the society will distribute that in Ukraine. Most of the board of directors of the Ukrainians of Colorado Society, most of them have family in Ukraine and are also connected to specific aid groups throughout Ukraine. So to be clear, none of it is going towards any military type capacity. It's all going to just help people, to get food to people, to get shelter to people, to get heat to people, those kinds of things. Everything we raise will go directly to that. So I worked with the Ukrainians of Colorado Society last year, a little over a year ago, last January, and we brought a Ukrainian director into town. We did a screening at the CE Film Center. It was very successful. It was sold out screening, and then we did a discussion with the director afterwards. And ever since then, we've been talking about doing something like this, and we've been planning it out for the last several months, and now we're here for the weekend.
The festival will hold a series of additional activities outside of the movies being shown. Some include a Q&A with those who made the movie. If you cannot attend these events and want to help out, Petrich provided some ways to do so.
I would say 2 things. Donations are important, and the humanitarian aid is important. You can go to the Ukrainians of Colorado Society. Just look them up online, go to them. You can donate there. There are tons of humanitarian groups. I think people have been doing that for a couple of years now. So donations are important. The other thing that's vitally important right now is to speak up. We have to let our representatives, state representatives, U.S. House representatives, our senators from all around the country implore them to send the aid that is needed to Ukraine right now, because the situation is probably the most dire that it's been in the past 2 years. So.
Thanks, Tyson. Controversial Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert is seeking re-election once again this year.
Although now it's in a new district.
Boebert, who has served as the representative for Colorado's 3rd congressional district since 2019, narrowly beat Democratic challenger Adam Frisch in the 2022 midterms by less than 1,000 votes. Now she's moving to the state's 4th district, formerly held by long-serving Republican Ken Buck. Representative Boebert will not be without her challenges, however, with 9 others running in the GOP primary, and a debate on January 25th, which ended in audience members ranking her 5th in an opinion poll.
This past Tuesday, the CDC issued a food safety alert after linking the infection Listeria to several dairy products. Now, so far, 4 Coloradans are sick following the Listeria outbreak linked to queso fresco, cotija cheese, and other dairy products. The CDC has released a full list of products that have been recalled. The products have been sold under the following brands: Campesino, Casa Cardenas, Don Francisco, Don Ranchitos, and more.
In a landmark decision, Colorado regulators have issued a staggering $10.5 million penalty against the Suncor oil refinery in Commerce City. Marking one of the largest ever actions against a single facility for air pollution violations, the settlement, spanning 3 years of infractions, mandates significant upgrades and the doubling of air pollution monitors at the plant's perimeter. Some residents and climate activists are unhappy with the decision, condemning Suncor's history of violations as a result of poor management and underinvestment, stating that for Suncor, the fine is merely a nominal expense, failing to deter repeated misconduct, and arguing that the penalty should be used to aid communities affected by Suncor's pollution instead of providing facility upgrades, as the company rakes in over $40 million a year.
Now let's get the scoop on weather with our very own Brandi Rose.
That's right, Brandi has been keeping a close eye on those clouds. Brandi, let us know what to expect.
Thanks, guys. Well, love isn't the only thing in the air this week. As temperatures begin to drop, as we can see, the snow is already starting to fall. Today with highs of 42 and a low of 25. We're heading into the weekend with temperatures in the low 20s, with the possibility of some extended flurries tomorrow with highs dipping into the low 30s. As the week continues, we're expecting some brisk days with temperatures beginning to rise, with those 42-degree highs on Monday and Tuesday. And we'll start to warm up a bit, closing this weekend off with highs back in the 50s Wednesday and Thursday. But thanks to those fluctuating wind speeds, the warmth of your heart will definitely be needed to keep you cozy. So make sure to bundle up with your Valentines this weekend, love bugs. Back to you guys at the desk.
Well, it looks like it's going to be pretty nice on Wednesday. You got any plans for Valentine's Day, Miah?
Noah, what is a Valentine's Day? Anyways, well, don't go anywhere, because after the break, we have Jackie with EMET.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jackie Bautista, bringing you all the buzz from the world of entertainment. Let's dive right in. The Chinese New Year is tomorrow, and Colorado is celebrating in full swing, with festivities all around the Denver metro area. Chinese New Year, also known as Lunar New Year or Spring Festival, is celebrated in much of East Asia alongside other traditional holidays as part of the lunisolar calendar, typically sometime between mid-January and late February, marking the end of winter. Last summer, Governor Jared Polis signed into law a bill making the Lunar New Year a state holiday. And while it doesn't bring any off days from work or school, this does mean a greater collaboration between Colorado and the various Asian cultural organizations that celebrate it. The biggest event will be tomorrow starting at 10:30 a.m. at George Washington High School, but tonight will also feature a festival in the town center at Aurora until 7 p.m., both complete with games, food, and performances. Love is in the air this week with only few days until February 14th, better known as Valentine's Day. We went around campus to see what Aurora has planned on the most romantic day of the year.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Bautista, and we are here today interviewing students on campus on what their plans are for Valentine's Day. What are your plans for Valentine's Day weekend?
Well, this morning I actually got asked Valentine's Day by him, so he did it in a really cute way.
Aww. How?
You want to explain it?
Usually we go for dinner, and then she wrote in my calendar steak dinner, so we're gonna get some steak, and then we usually actually go out to the mountains and rent a cabin.
Be lonely in the gym. I got going to Sassafras with my girlfriend in the morning, and then honestly just having a spontaneous day, just kind of like seeing what we can, I guess, seeing where the wind can take us, really. That's about it.
Thank you very much.
I think my boyfriend and I are gonna go see the new Bob Marley movie for Valentine's Day and get dinner, obviously. So
I just wrote her up this thing. It's a cool little poem and like just things that remind me of her. And I folded that in half and I gave her English tea. And when I first gave her the English tea, I was just like, wait, take out the bag. It's been 7 minutes. And so she takes it out. And then I'm like, be careful, it's hot. She don't care. She went all 4 fingers in there like an excavator, you know?
Students had a wide range of answers for what their plans are for Valentine's Day. That's all from me, from Jacqueline Bautista for the EMET Report. Good news for any jazz fans on campus. The 59th annual Mile High Jazz Festival is in full swing. This event has been a Coloradan jazz tradition for more than 50 years, starting in 1965. The past few days have been filled with performances by middle and high school bands from all across the state. For anyone looking to pick up a trumpet or two, there is a stand in the King Center selling all kinds of instruments from bongos to guitars. 2 workshops were put on by guests at the Emmanuel Gallery earlier today, and there also was a noon performance by Adam Bartchek and his band Democracy. And for those who want to listen to some jazz, don't worry. Later today, there will be an evening concert at 7:30 by special guest, the Laryss, a brass quartet from New York. So don't forget to stop by and catch some of that show. Taylor Swift has become the center of a bizarre conspiracy theory, linking her potential Super Bowl attendance to advancing the political platform of current President Joe Biden. A flurry of social posts and fringe news outlets has begun spinning a narrative that suggests Swift's appearance at the game may contain hidden messages and symbols critical of Donald Trump and supportive of various political causes. Critics and supporters of the theory are claiming online, with some accusing Swift of using the Super Bowl's global platform to make a political statement, while others defend the artist, stating that interpretations are far-fetched and highlight the tendency of conspiracy theories to read into the benign. Well, that's a wrap for today's Entertainment Scoop. I'll catch you up next time for more exciting updates. Stay tuned, because up next we have Xavier with sports.
What's good, sports fans? I'm Xavier Gauthier, and I'm here to guide you through the thrilling world of athletics. Real quick though, happy Black History Month to my black brethren and sisterin. Let's jump into the action. This past Saturday in the heart of Denver, the top 2 teams in the Big Mountain Hockey Conference, the undefeated MSU Denver Roadrunners and the 9-2 Denver Pioneers, faced off for the final day of the regular season. The Roadrunners, having dominated the BMHC with their impressive record, were determined to keep their spot at the top. But the Pioneers, as reigning regular season champs, were eager to hand them their first conference loss of the season. Denver came out strong, scoring the opening goal, but MSU quickly turned this game around thanks to 2 consecutive goals from forwards Nathan Jaramillo and Matthew Cliff, giving them the 2-1 lead after 2 periods of play. In the third, Denver tied this one up once again, but thanks to the equalizer from Braden Greenwood and with the go-ahead empty netter from Christopher Miller, the Roadrunners secured the 4-2 win on the road, wrapping up the regular season with a dub. With a 12-0 record in the BMHC, the Roadrunners clinched their title of regular season champions for the first time since 2019, dethroning last year's champs and giving them the 1 seed in the playoffs. For updates on your Roadrunners, be sure to check out their Instagram at MSU Denver ACHA Hockey. Speaking of Roadbird hockey, the opening puck drop for this year's BMHC playoffs takes place tonight, with all 5 of the Big Mountain teams going head-to-head, each fighting for their chance at the title. The University of Wyoming will face off against Colorado, with the winner getting the opportunity to take on the #1 team in the conference, and Colorado State will play #2 DU tomorrow evening in Fort Collins. And of course, as the 1 seed, MSU Denver will receive a bye tonight, taken to the ice tomorrow night in Superior, either facing off against the Cowboys or the Buffs. With the win Saturday night, the Roadrunners will be back at the Promenade on Sunday afternoon to fight for the BMHC championship title. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel for extended coverage as we follow this team into the postseason. This Sunday marks one of the biggest sporting events in the country. The Kansas City Chiefs, boo,
And the San Francisco 49ers face off at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas for Super Bowl 58. We asked around the office to see who our staff picked to win it all.
Hello, everybody. I'm Alex Petrich, news director at EMET TV.
And I'm your sports producer, Brandi Rose.
And we're here asking everybody in our office who they think is going to win the Super Bowl this weekend. Let's check it out.
So I'm not too excited about either of the teams. So my pick is the Baltimore Ravens.
I think it's going to win the 49ers. Yeah. I don't like the Chiefs.
I couldn't care less, so I'm going to say the Chiefs because it's controversial.
Not the Chiefs, but also not the 49ers. So I'm hoping that what happens is Rey Mysterio shows up in a convertible and just rolls onto the field and we actually have WrestleMania instead of a Super Bowl.
If I were to choose, I would pick the 49ers. Who I think is going to win? The Chiefs.
You know, I'd really like the 49ers too, for obvious reasons. But I think it's probably going to be the Chiefs, just because that was decided a long time ago by the council. So.
Well, I have a bet on the 49ers, so definitely the 49ers. I got the money line. And then I got McCaffrey anytime. And unfortunately, I have Travis anytime just because, you know, Travis, it's Travis.
I don't watch football, but my grandpa's favorite team is always the 49ers, so I guess I'll go with them.
I actually think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. As much as others don't, I actually do appreciate the greatness of Patrick Mahomes, and I think it'd be really fun for him to put on another show.
I definitely think it's the Chiefs.
49ers?
I literally have no idea who's playing at all, but I'm going to say the Bucks. Go Buckskins.
What's the team that Alex is in? Oh, the 49ers.
I think the 49ers are going to win.
Okay, so I think Christian McCaffrey is the greatest white man to ever do anything ever. Patrick Mahomes, I am sending this message to you because I want to know, just to figure out what kind of person you are, who did you play in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and was it Meta Knight? You freak.
Well, we got some pretty mixed answers. So, Alex, let me ask you, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
Well, I think it's going to...
That's great. Anyways, as a grade A hater myself and a lifelong Broncos fan, no, it's okay, it's okay. I personally think that it's going to be the 49ers, but...
I'm taking it. Okay. Look, I said the same thing at the beginning of the last semester. I said the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl, and lo and behold, they're in the Super Bowl. Everybody said you're going to lose to Miami, you're going to lose to Buffalo, you're going to lose to Baltimore. What happened? We're in the Super Bowl again. We're the evil empire. We're here to stay. Back to you guys at the desk.
As sports producer, I do not endorse this message.
Baseball has started, and the Roadrunners baseball team started their season as an away team. Last week, the MSU Denver baseball team started off a little bit rocky as they went to play against Northwestern Oklahoma State, ending with painful loss in the series 2-1. Jake Williams hit a 2-run homer in the first game, and Zach Schuler hit 3 homers in the last 2 games of the series, finishing with 11 RBI. Yesterday, we saw a doubleheader in the series against Biola, California, where the Roadrunners lost their first game of the series with the final score 16-15. The Roadrunners also dropped the second game with a 14-12 loss. Today, they'll wrap up the series with another doubleheader starting at noon. And that wraps up today's sports rundown. Once again, I'm Xavier Gauthier. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks.
Thanks, Xavier. Well, now that we're talking sports, Noah, what are your predictions for the Super Bowl?
Well, you know, as you saw, I originally said that the Chiefs were probably going to win it, but after hearing everybody's opinions, I think the Buckskins are going to take it all the way.
I think the Buckskins have it 100%.
Right. They're the real underdog in this, yeah. Well, thanks for joining us. We hope to see you next week, but until then, go to mymetmedia.com for information on our newscast.
And subscribe to our YouTube to stay up to date on all the most recent stories.
Goodbye, and have a nice weekend.